On Acoustic Tuesday, episode number 43, an Acoustic Tuesday viewer-recommended custom saddle maker, we get a visit from a Black Angel and a 2-for-1 artist special. All that and more right after this. If you believe that playing acoustic guitar is about sharing the joy of music with friends and family, not just mastering the technical side of playing, then this show is your dream come true. Every Tuesday morning, I give you my list of exciting Guitar Geek discoveries, gear, and new music so you can stay inspired to live your best acoustic life. I'm Tony Polecastro, and this is the Acoustic Tuesday Show. Guitar Geeks, unite. Welcome to Acoustic Tuesday, episode number 43. Episode number 43. This is the show where you're going to learn about new acoustic guitar gear, discover acoustic artists, and get inspired to live your best acoustic life. As with all episodes of Acoustic Tuesday, I'm going to share with you my Guitar Geek list for the week. These are things you absolutely don't want to miss. But first, we have to kick things off with a little Acoustic Tuesday tradition known as Guitar Geek Trivia. Here's your Guitar Geek Trivia question for the day. Who wrote the 1969 number one country hit, A Boy Named Sue? Was it A, Roald Dahl, B, Johnny Cash, C, June Carter Cash, or D, Shel Silverstein? Go ahead and ponder that, and of course at the end of the show I will be sure to give you the answer. Now, officially welcome to Acoustic Tuesday, episode number 43. 4 plus 3 is 7, so that means episode number 43 is surely an amazingly stable episode. And speaking of amazingly stable, the man who keeps us cool with 6 young children running around at home, Sir Noah Jacob Heckman Jr. the first. Noah, cheers, buddy.
Hey, cheers, Tony, and to you.
Speaking of keeping cool, what are you drinking there?
So, today, I am sipping on the, it's now a classic in TAC Studios, is the Bruick Laddie Port Charlotte peated whiskey.
Very nice, very
from
nice.
the wonderful island of Isla, which I will one day visit.
Nice.
Maybe even live.
Wow, that's bold. Well, I'm going to visit Pamplemousse one of these days, because that's what I'm having. Thanks for asking. Where is Pamplemousse?
I don't know where LaCroix is.
I don't know either. Doesn't really say. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there one day, though.
Okay.
I can assure you that. Well, I'd like to dive into the guitar geekiness. That is Acoustic Tuesday. I'm excited about every single item on today's list. In fact, the 2-for-1 artist special is one that is really mind-blowingly awesome. I'll just say that. And then item number 1 is going to be amazing. But we've got some things to work through first. So let's kick things off. Now, I've asked before on Acoustic Tuesday for viewers, people that watch Acoustic Tuesday, to submit gear recommendations, artist recommendations. And that's really easy to do. Just go to acousticlife.tv, click on submit, and you'll see a little drop down. You could submit all sorts of recommendations. And if I choose one, I'm going to go ahead and give you a shout out on the show and, of course, share the piece of gear or the artist that you shared with me. We have 2 of those this week. And the first one, this item comes from Joe Gonzalez from San Antonio, Texas. He's an Acoustic Tuesday viewer and fan, and he wanted me to know about a custom saddle maker. Now, I'm thinking to myself, we've talked about bone guitar saddles and bone bridge pins on Acoustic Tuesday before. So when I saw this come up through the recommendations, I thought, well, what makes these so special? And as a curious guitar geek, I had to explore. Now, I had never heard of Bob Colosi, or Colosi, hopefully I said that right, but I certainly have now. Bob Colosi is from St. Mary's, Georgia, and he makes custom bone guitar saddles. In fact, that's not the only thing he makes, and more on that in a second, but I want you to know that this is a guy that you can actually take the saddle out of your guitar, send him the measurements or send him the actual saddle, and he will make a replacement out of bone, fossilized ivory. I mean, he's got all sorts of materials that he offers on his website. And not only does he have various materials, he has various ways of actually treating these materials. So he can actually dye the bone to make it look more antique or more vintage if you want to do that. Now you're thinking, oh God, what if I have a through-cut Martin saddle, like the classic vintage saddle? No big deal. He makes those as well. In fact, there's a whole section on his website that will, you can pick out the manufacturer, and if it's not on there for whatever reason, of course, you can send him your saddle, and he will make a replacement of a higher quality material, if that's your case. But he doesn't stop stop at just making guitar saddles. He can make a replacement nut for you as well. If you have, say, a plastic nut on your guitar and you want to upgrade it to bone or ivory or something of the like, Bob will certainly do that for you. And here's a really cool thing. He has an amazing array of bridge pins, bone bridge pins, and he also does the dyeing on those as well. He's got plain bone pins, dyed pins. He's got bone pins with abalone dots. He's got bone pins with all sorts of really awesome stuff. So if you're looking for a place to hot rod your guitar, Joe Gonzalez from San Antonio, Texas says, go see Bob Colosi in St. Mary's, Georgia. He makes some amazing custom saddles, bridge pins, as well as guitar nuts. But he doesn't stop there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this has just started because he also makes picks from all these various materials, right? He's got a whole page dedicated on his website to picks. Like I said, a whole slew of different materials. He's got fossilized ivory picks. He's got bone picks. I mean, all sorts of different organic materials, ebony, buffalo horn, you name it, they're all there. He also does some dyeing on the bone picks as well. And the part that I really love, and this is the part that really struck me, because I've been on a bit of a pick hunt lately, and he has on the pick page, there's a whole section dedicated to the different size picks that he makes. So you can go through and say, I want a jazz style pick, or I want a jumbo pick, or I want a short stubby pick, whatever the case may be. He's got a whole bunch on there, and you can pick the material as well. So that's a pretty cool addition to Bob Colosi's offerings as well. But it doesn't stop there. Upon further exploration, I found a really cool concept, invention. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's really awesome, and I think it fits a guitar geek need in a major way. He has end pin plugs that he custom makes for your guitar. Here's the scenario. You had a pickup in your guitar. You didn't like the pickup. You wanted to go back to purely acoustic, so you took the pickup out, but lo and behold, the end pin hole is much larger. You can't fit a standard tapered end pin back into that hole. Well, he makes these end pin plugs so that when you take that input jack out, you can actually replace it with what looks like an end pin, but it fills that end pin hole perfectly. He makes these out of ebony, bone, again, you name it, a plethora of materials. And they look so cool, and I thought it was just such a cool concept. Something that I've done before in the past where I'm like, man, now I got this big hole in my guitar. I may as well just put the input jack back in and use that as my strap pin because I don't have anything to replace it. While those end pin plugs by Bob Colosi are certainly something that will help out guitar geeks. I believe that wholeheartedly. So again, I want to thank Joe Gonzalez from San Antonio, Texas for recommending Bob Colosi's custom saddles, guitar nuts, and bridge pins, as well as the picks and the end pin plugs. That's just an awesome guitar geek item that you definitely need to be aware of. Now, as I mentioned before, I have just a gaggle of items today. So I got a cool documentary you got to know about. And again, the 2-for-1 artist special is so cool. But first, we have to visit the mailbag. Now, there is so much stuff sitting next to me right now. I'm going to save the coolest thing. They're all cool things. So let me just start it. So first, I want to thank Dr. Dave for sending me this card. First of all, this is for all of us. For it's addressed to Tony, Noah, and Levi. But I'm a big fan of Eagle Rare. That makes me think of Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare is a bourbon, one of my favorites, the old standby. But Dr. Dave sent a really nice card. He said I saw Trevor Gordon Hall open for Manu Delago at the Sellersville Theater a few weeks ago. I bought his complete catalog. It always helps the artist if you buy directly from them, and picked up a signed copy of his latest CD for TAC HQ. So I want to thank Dr. Dave for sending this awesome album, Trevor Gordon Hall. I saw a documentary type thing on him because he was actually brought to my attention by Maggie Pope, another Acoustic Tuesday viewer and TAC member. So thank you very much, Dr. Dave, for sending this to us. We will be spinning this in TAC headquarters for certain. So thank you for that. Next up, we've got something. This one was really cool. I thought this was pretty neat. This is from Marshall M., and he says, Tony and the gang at TAC. After about a year of lessons and enjoying the Acoustic Tuesday show, I couldn't help myself and had to send you folks a gift or two. I wanted to get pizzas delivered after a quip by Tony, but I decided to send these cool plates for your bikes. Andrew D. told me to say the boys at the prison made them. So these are from Marshall M. Now, we did get 3 of these, but Levi took his already. And, of course, he's behind the scenes pulling levers, pressing buttons, and doing calculations. So I don't have his to show. And I should have given yours, Noah. I should have had you show yours. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Tony.
I just took the bull by the horns.
It's okay. It's an honor for you to share mine as well.
So Noah and I are doing daily bike rides. Okay, maybe not daily, maybe every other day. We both got our bikes tuned up, pedal bikes, not motorcycles. So we got these cool bicycle license plates from Marshall M. This one is mine. It says Tony. I'm the head geek. It's on a Montana license plate. And we have Noah as a tack geek here. So we'll put these on our bikes and we'll parade around town. And Noah actually even has a bell on his bike so he can announce when he's approaching people.
It's true.
He's used it before. It's true.
It's true.
And then, a couple of Acoustic Tuesdays ago, I mentioned that Jeffrey Foucault had done a pledge music for his newest album, Blood Brothers. Now, cool thing is Blood Brothers is actually out officially this week. It gets released, I believe, on June 22nd. But since I pre-ordered mine and took part in his pledge music campaign, my signed copy of Jeffrey Foucault's new album, Blood Brothers, came in, and I'm super excited about this. As I mentioned in that episode, this is an album that you need. It's an album that I continue to flip it. I don't care if it's side A or side B. I just don't want it to end. It's well-written songs, an amazing band, and an album you absolutely need. So I'm pumped to have mine. I encourage you to get yours if you have not already. That came in the mailbag. And last, but certainly not least, and probably the most exciting, June 22nd and June 23rd is the Acoustic Life Festival in Bozeman, Montana. And since we're gearing up for that, guess what just came in? Noah, can you guess what just came in?
Well, I knew you had ordered some stuff.
Yes.
Because we were, we got to meet about logistics and things like that.
These are logistic items, and I'm going to be an ultra geek because I'm super pumped about them. But we got bracelets, dude. We got bracelets. The official Acoustic Life Festival 2018 bracelets. We've got the VIP bracelets. We've got the standard entry bracelets. I'm excited. These are just cool. And they're in Blackhawks colors. I don't know if you knew that I did that, but I did that.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I did that.
I do know we kind of double-teamed Levi, though, and pushed the bracelet idea through.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun.
See, that's what he gets for going behind the scenes and under the hood of the TAC vehicle.
That's right. Now we can do whatever we want.
That's right. We're like, oh, we asked you that. Don't you remember? And he's like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. What I say?
It's like leaving the kids at home alone. Go do what you do. All right, moving on. This item that I have for you right now is a documentary that I think I strongly believe everybody should see. Everyone that has an interest in guitar, everyone that has an interest or an appreciation for songwriting, everyone that has an interest or appreciation of music history, and anybody, if you find yourself being a guitar geek and always wanting to know what it was like to be an artist, what was their journey like, this next documentary is absolutely for you. This documentary is called Be Here to Love Me. It's a documentary about Townes Van Zandt. It was released December 2nd, 2005, and goes from essentially his birth throughout his entire songwriting journey, performing journey, who he collaborated with, and who he met along the way. And I'll tell you what, it's quite the crooked road, all the way until he unfortunately passed away on New Year's Day in 1997. But this documentary is one that I find absolutely riveting. It really pulls no punches. I mean, it really takes a detailed look at Townes' life and the good, the bad, the ugly, and the otherwise, and also includes a lot of his peers. I mean, guys like Steve Earle, Guy Clark, Emmylou Harris. I mean, the cast of characters in this documentary is stunning in and of itself, but the story is stunning as well. In fact, there's a stellar trailer that I think will get you super excited to watch this movie. So let's actually have a look at that right now.
There was one point when I realized, man, I could really do this. But it takes blowing everything off. It takes blowing your family off, money, security, happiness. Get a guitar and go.
You couldn't be a songwriter and stay home. You had to be out playing songs for other people, staying up for 6 days at a time.
I've heard Townes Van Zandt referred to as a cult figure.
I remember just watching Dad and singing along with him, and this lady kept looking over there and smiling at me and everything, and then I remember just looking over and saying, yeah, that's my dad.
I saw him do stuff, man, when he was just perfect.
I remember going to see him play at the Old Quarter, and some girl in the front just got so into it, she just ripped her blouse off.
He had terrible nightmares, and I used to find him sobbing in the middle of the night.
Imagine just having huge blocks of who you are wiped out.
First thing I remember is when I came to, the guy asked me if I was hooked on airplane gear, and I said, no, I'm stuck.
He could be really cruel to the people he loves.
Well, he knew the buttons, and he pushed them really hard.
You don't think life's sad?
But from recognizing the sadness, you can put it aside and be happy and enjoy the happy side of life.
Where I lead me, I will travel. Where I need me, I will call me. Well, I'm no fool, I'll be ready. God knows I will be.
There's heaven, purgatory, hell, and the blues. I'm trying to crawl up from the blues, man.
All right, so you are definitely sufficiently pumped to see that film now. And I as I mentioned, I strongly recommend this. I watched this some years ago. I was still living in Chicago at the time, so it was a while ago. And it hit me hard then, and I'm due for a rewatch because it's that good. You can find out more information on that documentary at acousticlife.tv. Just click on episode 43. You'll be able to see the full write-up on it, see that little snippet again, and of course, there's a link to purchase that documentary or rent it, however you best consume movies. But remember, anything that you purchase off of acousticlife.tv, 100% of those proceeds go to Guitars for Vets, which is a nonprofit program that helps returning veterans readjust. It helps them use music and guitar with depression and some PTSD things, and it's really a program that I think any guitar geek can get behind. So again, all proceeds from any purchase from acousticlife.tv goes directly to Guitars for Vets, which is pretty darn awesome, if I do say so myself. So make sure to check out that documentary. Now, we have a 2-for-1 artist special. It's almost as if we go shopping and you see the deal, and you weren't planning on purchasing like 2 cans of tuna for the price of 1, but you have to because there's a deal. It's like we're programmed. So that's coming up. But before we do that, let's do some small wins because I need to prep myself mentally for this 2-for-1 special.
I'm ready for small wins. Let's do it. All right, and here we go. Small wins for AT episode number 43.
All right.
43. First small win comes from Les. Small win, I was recently teaching my stepdaughter some things on guitar and discovered how good her voice was. So she sang and I played guitar. That was the first time I had played with someone since my dad's passing. My wife said our performance was amazing and wishes she would have recorded us.
Heck yeah! Well, I mean, you can do another pass at that performance.
Yes, and that sounds like a fam jam to me.
That sounds like a fam jam as well.
You know, if you go back to some earlier AT episodes, we had some hashtag fam jams going on, and they kind of tapered off. Yeah. But I'm just going to throw that out there. If any of you guitar geeks out there are having jams with your fam, let us know about it.
Yeah, hashtag fam jam in the comments. Heck yeah, that's a huge win and a fam jam. I love that.
Next small win comes from Robert. Just scored some tickets to see I'm With Her in Philly in November. Awesome. Going with Dom and Sharon Tiano, who are regular Acoustic Tuesday viewers.
Nice.
And perhaps some other friends from Friends with Strings Jam Club.
All right. Heck yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good small win.
That's stellar.
Next one comes from, this is a viewer that's been with Acoustic Tuesday, I believe, since the beginning.
All right.
And I remember saying his moniker way back in the day, Troll's Journey, because I recall he's from overseas. Small win, got a new Fender PM2 Deluxe Parlor in the mail today. It's pretty cool and affordable guitar with all solid wood. I'm happy.
Cool.
Also, I have to say big thanks for another great episode of AT. Cheers from Norway.
Awesome. Well, cheers back at you. And I'm excited to try that guitar. What was the Fender PM?
Correct. Fender PM2 Deluxe Parlor.
That's on my radar now. I have to check that out.
Yeah,
this is a little guitar geek back and forth right there.
That's a new one for me.
That's good.
All right, next one comes from Viking Padre, another regular Acoustic Tuesday viewer.
Awesome.
Small win after building up a guitar arsenal of super nice guitars, including a Martin 0015M and 00018 and D35, an all mahogany Hoboken Guild. Did I say that right?
Nice. Yeah.
And a couple of Kalamazoo archtops.
Nice.
I just acquired my first WOW guitar, an all mahogany Bourgeois OM.
Oh my.
The sparkling highs and the resonant lows of this guitar are amazing. Then again, each new guitar is a WOW guitar in its own way.
That's awesome.
That's a good win.
Cheers to the new guitar.
And last small win for today comes from Mark. Playing with the Albany Symphony Orchestra in Troy, New York with the guitar, ukulele, mandolin flash mob.
Seriously? That's a thing? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I didn't even know of such a thing.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do some Googling, some research.
Absolutely. Hope you're writing that down, taking notes. Okay, Tony, that's our small wins for today.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Noah. And, of course, thank you for sharing your small wins with us. We love hearing about your small wins. So if you want yours featured on a future episode of Acoustic Tuesday, it's super easy. Just put hashtag small win in the comments, and then we'll go ahead and read those out in a future episode. They're super fun to share, and really they mean a lot to us as guitar geeks because it helps spread the positivity. We all need that positivity on our guitar journey, and it's great to help people celebrate, and it's great to celebrate ourselves. So what the hell? Let's keep celebrating. So share your small win with us. Share your small win with us in the comments.
Yeah.
And you can try and say that 3 times fast if you want to challenge. It's
Took
fun.
the words out of my mouth, Tony.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm listening to this week. This week, as I mentioned, as I've touted, it's a 2-for-1 artist special. And I want to thank Acoustic Tuesday viewer because this was an Acoustic Tuesday viewer recommendation. And again, as I mentioned before, if you have an artist you want us to hear, if you have a piece of gear that you want to share with all of us on Acoustic Tuesday, if I choose to feature it, I'm going to give you a shout out on the show. And you can actually submit it at acousticlife.tv. On the top menu, there's a button that says click submit. There's a button that says submit. Click it, and you can share your gear or artists with us. And what I'm about to share with you is an artist that Ted Renshaw from Southold, New York, shared with us. So thank you, Ted. You reminded me of an artist that I've been wanting to feature on Acoustic Tuesday, but because of your submission, he is here, and it actually prompted me to remember another artist, so you get a 2-for-1 special. The artist I'm referring to is none other than Daryl Scott. Daryl Scott is, wow, well, let me just tell you, music just flows through this guy. He's a phenomenal songwriter, just a really splendid, amazing songwriter. His playing is captivating. Just watching his fingers work, the chord voices and choices that he makes are really stunning to a guitar geek. And his voice is amazing. I mean, you watch him play, and the guy goes to another dimension. He's really, really, he's a treasure. He's a treasure, is what he is, a songwriting treasure. A couple albums that I'd like to call out from Daryl's that I think you all would enjoy. Couchville Sessions is one. That's a newer album. Aloha from Nashville is another one that features some really classic tunes. And then another one, Crooked Roads, which I got. That was my first exposure to Daryl Scott. That's a double disc, and I really just enjoyed that particular album. There's a lot of sonic treats on that album, but I want you to indulge in a sonic treat. So let's actually listen to his tune, You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive.
In the deep dark hills of eastern Kentucky, that's the place where I trace my bloodline, and it's there I read on a hillside gravestone, said you will never leave Harlan alive. Well, my granddad's dad walked down Catarines Mountain, and he asked Tilly Hilton to be his bride.
said, won't you walk with me out of the mouth of this holler, or we'll never leave Harlan alive. Where the sun...
Okay, so to learn more about Daryl Scott, just go to acousticlife.tv, click on episode 43, and you'll see a full-blown write-up on Daryl Scott. But we're not done listening to things quite yet, because thinking of Daryl Scott reminded me of a local singer-songwriter that I want to share with you that you basically need to know. If you're a songwriting fan, if you're a fan of how people craft lyrics and tell stories, this is a songwriter that is right up your alley. And I'm referring to local singer-songwriter Ben Bullington. Ben has since left us, unfortunately, but he left behind an incredible legacy and catalog of songs. And you'll see why Daryl Scott reminded me of Ben Bullington here in just a second. Ben, as I mentioned, was a doctor in White Sulphur Springs. It's a town that's roughly, I don't know, it's a little bit east of here. I want to say maybe 50 to 70 miles. Maybe it's a little bit less even. But he's a doctor, very small town, and just a prolific songwriter. I mean, just the guy. You listen to his songs and you're like, whoa, man! Some of the visions that he creates just with his words are amazing. And I first met Ben when I worked at Weber. He had one of our resonator guitars and he brought it in for some work. And he's a big, tall, lanky guy. Intimidating in look just because he was so big, but he's the type of guy that as soon as he opened his mouth, you're like, oh man, this guy's so cool. He had a knack for making you feel welcome, just a really nice individual. And he played all around town here. He played with a lot of my friends locally, and just was a treasure of a songwriter as well. Now he's got a couple albums that I'd like to call out that I want to encourage you to try out or to listen to. He's got an album entitled White Sulphur Springs, where he used to be a doctor. He's got an album entitled Lazy Moon, and also a self-titled album, which ended up being his last album, I'm pretty sure. It's an emotionally charged album, as Ben was pretty ill. I don't want to get into the details of that, but that last album is one that I strongly recommend everybody should have, because it's so emotionally charged. It's the kind of album that you can almost you just feel it from song 1 to song 2 to all the way through the end of the album. It takes you on a whole journey, and it's an incredibly raw album, very very well produced and well written. The whole thing's amazing. So let's actually listen to a selection from that album. It's entitled "I've Got to Leave You Now." It's, I believe, one of the last songs on the album. So let's check it out.
Too many men are worse than rodents. Too many kill with easy minds, just used to memorize a passage from a fabled god whose hands are full of time. Our souls might mingle in the aftertorch, like 4 friends smoking on a midnight porch. I've always loved you the best I knew how. I've got to leave you now.
If you want to talk about guitar geeks, Ben was a guitar geek through and through. He's the type of guy that would find an instrument that was a little beat up, played a little too hard, maybe treated a little too badly, and he had a knack for finding these instruments and then getting the right people together to bring them back to life. Really, truly, as I mentioned, a treasure. And you're probably thinking, okay, Tony, there's a lot of artists you're throwing at me. We got Daryl Scott, we got Ben Bullington. Where do I even start? Well, I'm actually going to give you a very specific starting place. Because at one point or another, Daryl and Ben had crossed paths, I believe here in Montana, and developed a friendship. And obviously them both being really, really talented songwriters, naturally they would share songs and things like that. And as Ben passed some years ago, but Daryl kind of did a very cool, amazing tribute to Ben and his writing and his life. And Ben took 10 songs that Ben Bullington, out of Ben Bullington's catalog, and he re-recorded them in his Daryl Scott way, as a tribute and as a celebration, really, of the talent that Ben was. And I think the result was really amazing. To hear Daryl play Ben's songs is really fun. It's really it's one of the highest level tributes I could think of as a musician. So let's actually listen to a tune off of that. I've got it written down here because I got a lot of songs running through my mind. This is the album 10, and it's, again, the album's by Daryl Scott. He's singing 10 of Ben Bullington's songs, and the song we're going to listen to is the one I'm still thinking about.
One night all alone, you'll be driving toward home, and you'll turn on the car radio, and you'll hear a man singing and playing guitar on some 2-hour folk music show. You'll lean your head closer and turn up the sound as the signal fades in and out. But you'll hear every line, and the voice will be mine, and you'll know who I'm singing about.
You might be thinking, okay, Tone, in the last 2-3 minutes, you've just thrown 6 albums, now 7, my way. And I want to check these guys out, but where do I even start? Well, I'm going to actually recommend that you start with that album 10 by Daryl Scott, because you're going to get a glimpse into Ben Bullington's writing, and you're going to hear Daryl Scott play that. It's a great starting point. From there, I would strongly urge you, I would implore you to go check out each artist individually. Ben's catalog really is filled with absolute treasures that need to be heard, and the same with Daryl's. So please check both of those artists out. Great starting point, again, is that album 10 by Daryl Scott, featuring 10 of Ben Bullington's songs. And of course, for more details on that, if you want to purchase those albums, please go to acousticlife.tv, click on episode 43, and you're going to see a write-up on Daryl Scott. You're going to see a write-up on Ben Bullington, and of course, an option to purchase those albums. And remember, every purchase that you make through acousticlife.tv, 100% of those proceeds do go to Guitars for Vets, which is an awesome nonprofit that does a great job of uniting guitar geeks, which of course is the whole premise behind the Acoustic Tuesday show. And speaking of the Acoustic Tuesday show, please leave a comment below and let us know what you think of the show so far. Let us know where you're tuning in from, because Noah loves giving shout-outs. Give us a comment. Let us know what you loved about the show. Maybe you made a new discovery. Just please leave a comment below. We absolutely love hearing from you all. And while you're at it, if you have not yet, please subscribe to the Acoustic Life YouTube channel. It's really easy. Just click that red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little bell. That'll give you a notification of each new video that gets released. And of course, you can get Acoustic Tuesday delivered directly to your email as well. That's super easy. There's a link in the description. Click it, and you will get Acoustic Tuesday hand-delivered, well, digitally delivered, right to your email. And of course, access to my Guitar Geek list, which is something you definitely don't want to miss. And speaking of you, and speaking of shout-outs, speaking of comments, Noah, you got some shout-outs and some comments you'd love to share from past episodes?
Tony.
Rumor has it, anyway.
Tony, I do. So let's not waste any time and jump on in.
You know me. I'm all about not wasting time.
I'm going to go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so with shout-outs, please let us know where you're from, where you are viewing Acoustic Tuesday. Even if you're on the road traveling, we want to give you a shout-out.
Heck yeah.
With you watching Acoustic Tuesday, even while you're traveling. So first shout-out goes to James Morrison, who is watching Acoustic Tuesday from Dover, Pennsylvania.
Cool.
Next one comes from Molly May, 200. I think that's right. Or 2005. Molly May 2005. Enjoyed the show. Thank you. From Greenbrier, Arkansas.
Cool. I thought you were going to say like Greenbrier, Scotland.
Okay, well, I think what I saw there was the moniker was different from his name, and then he slid his name in there. So that's from Scott.
Okay.
So Scott from Greenbrier, Arkansas.
Awesome.
Whose moniker is Molly May 2005.
Gotcha.
Okay. Next shout out goes to Ron M. Greetings from, Bourbonnais, Illinois.
I know that.
Bourbonnais, Illinois. Sorry. He says, I'm 40 minutes south of the Windy City. I blame the wind on the politicians.
Well, Illinois, that's a notorious, that's an interesting topic for a different kind of show.
Indeed. Next one, and this is cool. I always find it cool when people have names that are cool.
Wow, that's cool. No.
The next comment comes from Tom Arnold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Greetings from Hudson Valley, New York.
Awesome.
And I feel the need to ask why the secrecy about Levi. He is missed.
Oh.
Now, this is episode 43.
Yeah.
And so I think we tried to cover well enough.
Yeah.
You've even said thus far.
Yeah.
That Levi is here. He has just passed on his Jedi tech skills to me in studio so that he can work on other behind-the-scenes guitar geeky things that just need to be done.
Absolutely. Yeah, okay. He's pulling levers, pressing buttons, doing calculations. He's got his TI-83 Plus calculator. It's almost on fire. He's been pressing it so much lately. So
it's true.
Yeah. We get reports. It's actually pretty fun. We're pumped that Levi can unite guitar geeks behind the scenes while we unite guitar geeks with the show every week.
Okay. That leads me into my last comment. Now, Ted here didn't say where he was watching from, but I thought I would include it as a nice little connecting point from the previous comment. Okay. And Ted says, the Acoustic Tuesday duo combined perfection once again.
Wow.
Huh?
That's pretty high accolades.
Can we do a virtual
hype?
Yeah.
Are you here? Or
yeah.
here? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Did I hit it?
Nice.
Awesome.
That worked. Okay.
Yeah. See, you're a wizard. You're a technological wizard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tony. That's our comment. So now, with your permission and the viewers at home or on the road, I think I'm going to roll into some, you're a guitar geek wins.
Oh, I'm going to speak for everybody, and I'm going to say go ahead, because these are awesome,
okay.
And I love the ones that you pick.
All right, here we go. Leighton says, who's from Canada, by the way.
Awesome.
You're a guitar geek when you don't know when or where your next vacation will be or even happen, but you're already putting together a guitar travel package, which includes a special guitar, special case, special strings, the one that lasts in humid climates, for example, lightweight capos, a variety of picks, etc., etc., etc.
I mean, that's a great learning point for us all. Why wouldn't we have that emergency guitar travel kit set aside already? And if you don't have one, why wouldn't you create one?
You taking a note?
It's mental.
Okay. All right. Next one comes from Daniel. You're a guitar geek when you're planting trees in your yard based on their resonant properties.
Oh.
The maple here, walnut over there, cedar over there, cherry over there.
That's good. I like that. And very, very great dramatic reading of it as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I pictured you in the yard and the whole deal. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Next one comes from regular Acoustic Tuesday viewer and contributor Yon Santos. Says, you're a guitar geek when you never heard about bluegrass music, and after you've listened for the first time, becomes your new acoustic obsession. Now, he may have slid this one by us because this one sounds familiar to me.
Okay.
And I think someone else said something similar about the bluegrass introduction to bluegrass.
I can't remember who it was, and I want to say they were from the Philippines, and they had just discovered bluegrass because of Acoustic Tuesday. And I'm right there with you guys, because when I got bit by the bluegrass bug, it was hook, line, sinker, done. That's all I listened to for like 4 years straight, because the catalog ranges that wide and deep. You're in for a ride. It's going to be really fun.
Well, I was just thinking, here we are at episode 43, and after watching the Townes Van Zandt trailer, I thought, I think I might be turning into a guitar geek. So, all right, next one comes from Daniel M. You know you're a guitar geek when a box of Frosted Flakes reminds you of Tony Polecastro.
I'm going to take a second. And
Please.
First, I want to say thank you.
Yes.
That is a high level compliment in and of itself. Because Tony the Tiger he's an icon.
Absolutely.
But let me just say this about Frosted Flakes.
Okay.
That is one of the best damn cereals I remember eating as a child.
I thought you were a Cheerio fan.
I am. I'm saying as a child. I don't even eat cereal anymore, but I remember distinctly Frosted Flakes for two specific reasons. The crunch immediately, so you pour them in the bowl, you get the milk on there, and like the first 3 bites are crunchy, right? And they just taste so good. The sugary sweetness is just delicious. And then as you work your way through the bowl, through the different layers, right, you gain different levels of sogginess, and it kind of like you're like, the crunch is gone. But when the bowl is empty and the milk is left, it's like the sweetest, most delicious milk.
Would you say that they're great?
I would say that they're great.
Yeah, they're great. The Frosted Flakes are going to be great. Okay, Tony, that's our comments, shout outs, and you know your guitar geek when for this week.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Noah. Appreciate that. As always, if you want to, please in the comments below. First of all, if you just feel like leaving a comment, we would encourage that. But if you want to finish the sentence, you know you're a guitar geek when, please put a hashtag in front of that and go ahead and complete that sentence. They're super fun to read and always result in wide-ranging discussions and topics, as today was the case. And of course, while you're at it and thinking about Acoustic Tuesday and going to acousticlife.tv and enjoying all of the goodness that is there, please don't forget to share this show with your friends. Literally, all the stuff on acousticlife.tv is totally shareable. You can share it with your friends on Facebook, send them a link. Whatever you got to do to get other guitar geeks watching the show is exactly what I want you to do. Encourage them to subscribe. Encourage them to tell their guitar geek friends, because the whole point of Acoustic Tuesday is for guitar geeks to unite. And because of you guys, every single episode we have more and more guitar geeks uniting, and it's pretty damn exciting. And I just appreciate you guys, and thank you so much, because you guys are the ones that are uniting all these guitar geeks, and it's just pretty awesome. I love it. Love it. Now we gotta, I was almost ready to move on to item number 1, but we can't quite get there yet.
Oh, well, what's next?
Well, what's next is it's the highest level of guitar geekdom that you can achieve. And that is sharing your guitar arsenal on the Acoustic Tuesday show. I've got 2 guitar arsenals for you guys to set your eyes upon today. The first one comes from, this is so cool because you shared a shout out from James M. from Dover, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yes.
Well, guess whose guitar arsenal we're going to look at? You guessed right. James M. from Dover, Pennsylvania. Now, first of all, I want to make a comment because James looks extremely comfortable here. He's just kind of lounging, just surrounded by guitars. It's exactly how I picture all of us being. So what we've got in James's guitar arsenal, we're going to start with the top line from left to right, a 1950s Conrad baritone ukulele, a 1966 E.R. Fretschner violin, hopefully I said that right, an Oscar Schmidt auto harp, and a Kentucky KM855 mandolin. And then here we get to the guitar line. There's some juicy goodness in here. Guitar line from left to right, a 1978 Fender Music Master bass guitar, very cool. A 2011 Martin D41 Special. I'm excited about that guitar because I have a D41 Special as well. Next is James's favorite, a 2006 Martin HD28. Next up, a 1989 Martin Shenandoah 12-string and a 1990s Fender Stratocaster. Around his neck is a Hohner harmonica, of which he has 10, and he says that's it except for a bag of percussion instruments and 2 rain sticks. So thank you very much, James M., for sharing your guitar arsenal with us. Next up, now this one, this is awesome. You'll see. It's incredible. This one comes from Gary L. in San Antonio, Texas, and holy smokes, he hit a grand slam with this guitar arsenal picture. He covered all bases. I'll explain. So let's start with the guitars. He's got a Martin 0028 Eric Clapton, a Fender Squier Strat, a Martin D28 Marquis, a Taylor GS Mini Mahogany, and a Rogue mandolin. And then he goes on to say, the buddies in the picture with me are all 5 of his grandchildren, all boys, and the future heirs of my guitars. And he goes on to say, if I may throw in, you know you're a guitar geek when. You know you're a guitar geek when you buy a new guitar every time you are blessed with a new grandchild, so that they all have a guitar to inherit. Nana never says no when it's for the grandchildren. That's not only you're a guitar geek when, that's a tip for anybody afflicted with GAS, gear acquisition syndrome.
Oh, you're looking at me.
Yeah, if you have a guitar you want to get, just make sure your kids have a grandchild. It's easy excuse.
I think I have a good.
Not that kids are excuses. I don't know.
I think I have a pretty good chance of having quite a few grandchildren.
Yeah, I think so too. That's incredible. All right, so those are the guitar arsenals for the day, and I just want to thank both James M. and Gary L. for sharing theirs with us. Just really cool to see all of the instruments, to see the family involvement. It just embodies the spirit of Acoustic Tuesday and the spirit of being a guitar geek. And of course, if you want to share your guitar geek spirit by sharing your guitar arsenal with us, that is super easy as well. Go to acousticlife.tv, click on Submit. You're going to see a category that drops down that says Submit Your Guitar Arsenal, and all you have to do is put your picture there. Now, there's a couple of steps you got to follow. Step 1, you got to get yourself a Guitar Arsenal shirt. Real easy. There's a link below this video. Get your size, get your color. It'll go right to your door. Second, gather all your guitars, everybody involved with your guitar journey. If you want to include them, that includes pets, of course, and take a picture. And then third, go ahead and go to acousticlife.tv, click Submit, and submit that picture of your guitar arsenal, and we'll feature you on an upcoming Acoustic Tuesday episode. Very cool stuff. Really appreciate that, you guys. It is a treat to see those every single week. And now we should probably move on to the final item of the day. Noah?
I'm ready.
I am too. This one is actually a local infused item. Being an acoustic guitarist is tough if you want to plug in. We actually talked about that back in episode 42. I did a full rundown of acoustic guitar pickup types, and if you missed that, you've got to check that out. I think it's really informative, and I think it can really help you. And one of those pickup types was a magnetic sound hole pickup. Now, locally, check this out. So Larry DiMarzio of DiMarzio Pickups, mostly associated with electric guitars, to the best of my knowledge, actually lives here in Bozeman. I actually saw him at the grocery store just the other day. And he has, in my opinion, I think he's always dabbled in acoustic guitar pickups, but I think he's finally hit his stride. And I say that because the pickup that I'm going to share with you right now is one that I think is an exceptional example of what DiMarzio pickups are capable of in the acoustic world. And I'm referring to the DiMarzio Black Angel sound hole pickup. Now, I have one of these in my custom Martin. I'm just going to show it to you guys so you can see what it looks like. It's there, right there in the sound hole. Magnetic pickup, really sleek design. And beautifully sounding pickup. It's got a crystalline quality. It's very brilliant. It's very articulate without being over the top, kind of like clicky and crispy, right? It's got the right amount of detail and the right amount of body for a magnetic sound hole pickup. But here's the cool thing, it goes on. There's actually a phase switch on that pickup. Now, generally speaking, with a magnetic sound hole pickup, you're going to want to combine it with some other pickup element to fill out the sound. And that's the beauty of the Black Angel sound hole pickup, is it's got a phase switch right on it. So if your guitar's kind of feeling puny when it's paired with another pickup, you can flip that phase switch and all of a sudden, boom, it's like the guitar totally arrives. Now, the cool thing about the Black Angel pickup is you can get it as a sound hole pickup, but there's also a Black Angel piezo pickup that can be incorporated with it as well. So there's so many different options, but really truly the sound hole pickup is amazing. You can get it once you get that pickup, you can temporarily install it, which actually will leave a cord hanging out the front, but it's a great way to try it out. Or you can get it installed permanently, which is the route I went, and actually have that paired with the DiMarzio Black Angel piezo pickup as well. And it's just a really full, complete sound. In fact, there's a great interview that actually Larry shot with Mike Dawes, who's a phenomenal percussive fingerstyle guitarist, and Mike Dawes goes on to explain how he uses the DiMarzio Black Angel pickup, and I just selected the playing portion of the interview because I want you to hear this pickup in action. Now, keep in mind, Mike is using a bunch of different pickup elements here. He's got the DiMarzio sound hole pickup, the piezo pickup, and also an internal mic. So he's got a lot of things going on, but I think it's a great example of what the DiMarzio Black Angel, both sound hole pickup and overall system, is capable of. So actually, let's have a listen right now.
name's Mike Dawes, and...
Now, as I mentioned, that is just a small snippet of that entire interview. Mike Dawes goes into great detail about how he discovered the pickup and, of course, how he uses it personally. So you can see that full thing at acousticlife.tv. Click on episode 43, and you'll see info on the DiMarzio Black Angel pickup, that interview, and, of course, a link to purchase the DiMarzio Black Angel pickup. And, of course, remember, every purchase you make through acousticlife.tv, 100% of those proceeds go to Guitars for Vets. And, of course, if you want a little bit more information on pickups, and you're thinking, wait, magnetic pickup? I've never heard of one of those. Go to Acoustic Tuesday, episode 42. I do a full-blown deep dive on all the different types of acoustic pickups you'll run into, and I think you'll find it incredibly beneficial for your pickup shopping and exploring experience. So that pretty much wraps up Acoustic Tuesday, episode 43. We're turning and burning here, but we've got a couple of items of business that we still have to deal with. And the main one being your Guitar Geek trivia question. Just as a refresher, here was your Guitar Geek trivia question for the day. Who wrote the 1969 #1 country hit, A Boy Named Sue? Was it Roald Dahl, Johnny Cash, June Carter Cash, or Shel Silverstein? Well, if you answered Johnny Cash, you're not correct. The answer was actually D, Shel Silverstein. Here's a little bit more. Silverstein, who had increasingly dabbled in songwriting since the late 50s, wrote A Boy Named Sue and released it on his 1969 album, Boy Named Sue and His Other Country Songs. Ironically, that album was produced by Chet Atkins. You may best recognize Silverstein as a children's author, but he had a long and respected career in adult works too. In fact, Silverstein wrote with Chris Christopherson and had a few songs performed by Loretta Lynn, among many other artists in several genres. However, on September 16th, 1969, A Boy Named Sue hit #1 on the country charts because of Johnny Cash. When Johnny Cash first performed the song live, he figured that kind of thing might resonate with his audience because the first time he performed it live was for a room full of convicts. Yes, that's right, Cash chose to play A Boy Named Sue for the first time at his infamous San Quentin State Prison performance, and actually the whole thing was kind of June Carter Cash's idea. So pretty cool piece of music trivia, and I always think of Shel Silverstein as just the light in the attic guy. I can see the book cover and everything.
Right, or Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Yeah, those classic books. Those are classic.
Or The Giving Tree.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, lo and behold, he wrote A Boy Named Sue.
I had no idea.
I know, because I tested this one on you.
You test all of them on me.
I do. I want to make sure I can read them with some sort of confidence. All right, that pretty much wraps up episode number 43 of Acoustic Tuesday. But before I leave you and send you on your way into the acoustic-infused world that you live in as a guitar geek, I want to take a sneak peek into next week. So next week, we're going to plant some blue flowers. I've got a new wave of finger picks that I cannot wait to share with you, and we're going to do some space travel to a bluegrass planet. Noah's excited. He's got his rocket ship driver's license, so we're going to go ahead and hop in that thing and take it for a spin. So until next Tuesday, I wish you the best week. We wish you the best week. Thank you so much for joining us here on Acoustic Tuesday. Remember, you can catch Acoustic Tuesday every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. It's here on YouTube, and for your acoustic fix during the week in between Tuesdays, please go to acousticlife.tv. Click around, explore, submit ideas, and of course, any purchase you make from that website, all the proceeds go directly to Guitars for Vets. Thank you so much. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Tuesday on Acoustic Tuesday. Cheers to you, Guitar Geek.
One night all alone, you'll be driving toward home, and you'll turn on the car radio, and you'll hear a man singing and playing guitar on some 2-hour folk music show.